Good morning, everyone. Right, today I'm off to one of our favourite areas to walk, Oti and Merlin, over near Clifford Bridge, which is sort of Fingle Woods area. There's some wonderful walks over there. I haven't been going over there much lately, and people have asked me why. I'm going to show you why. This is following the Google Maps route over. That's the only route I really know. I'm going to need to wait here for a minute. This car coming down single lane. Single lane's not a problem. I live in rural Devon. I understand that. What is the issue? Are the potholes. Now, I was dubious whether I'd even actually get the camera on here safely enough to cope with potholes. We'll wait and see. These roads are actually becoming undrivable, and these are down as main routes to and from places. If I want to be a relief signaller, I'd have to be travelling on these roads daily, and I've had to explain to work, but it's just not doable. Google Maps say you can make it in that time, but you'll have absolutely trashed your car to do it. So I've got someone behind me, but I don't care how slowly I go. So you can see it's a case of trying to find somewhere a bit of road between these potholes. A little bit there. The car behind me is trying a different approach. They're swerving left and right. I found the main thing is just to keep your speed right down. I was on the hands-free to my arm the other day, hit a pothole, in flooding. Must be going too fast. No, I was not going too fast. It is just not possible to avoid them. And then you get lulled into a little sense of security. You get a little bit like this, where they're not too bad. I'm in here around the corner. And one of the hardest things along with this is, yes, it's single track roads. We're all very proficient at reversing around here. That is a decent pull-in. It's about one of the only ones. So many of the pull-ins have been trashed as well. But people who don't know the area don't understand why you're reluctant to pull in, particularly when they're flooded. And we know it's all one giant pothole, but the person coming towards you doesn't. Now, one of the other lanes around here, if I'm going out to Oakhampton, to train with the dogs, there is a road that way, and I followed 3 council lorries down it a little while ago. There's another one, and they caused so much damage. The speed they were going, they're the ones causing the damage to the roads. Slightly ironic considering that they are road vehicles or highways maintenance. So that's that road done. We'll carry on and it won't be too bad. I'm going to keep videoing. Obviously you might want to fast forward through some of the bits where they aren't so bad, but I just want to show what we're actually looking at. And going up that road today, it wasn't as bad as it can be. But yeah, you see big deep holes there on the left of the pull-in, and we're coming up to the recycling centre. So you've got a lot of people coming around here who don't know the area. Okay, that one's not so bad. But because we've got a recycling centre here, we have a lot of lorries using these narrow country roads, and they're just not maintained for it. It's worth it when we get over to the woods, and I'll go for a lovely walk with dogs this morning. But I do have a tendency to come back via Exeter just because I can't face the roads again. Okay. He's in there. We all move forward at the same time. This works. Yeah, well done, mate. Car needs to come forwards. There we go. Oti, that's alright. So you can see I'm having to park this car, but I'm having to go up onto an edge to do it. But he's a learner driver, we'll let him off it. There we go. Sorry, Otie's got a little bit reactive. Too many dogs have gone for her when she's in the back of the car now, and she doesn't like shadows around the back of the car. Right, we're back on a bit of better road. Let's see how this goes. Oh, look. Hey, I'm up to 28 miles an hour. No, not for long. See a pothole on the left there, very large one. I won't walk on the country lanes. People are very brave to do, but with these high-sided edges, they're really not ideal. We live, don't get me wrong, we live in a wonderful, wonderful area. Look at the potholes in that one. So if you have to pull aside in there, you just can't, to be perfectly honest. And again, same with that one, you would take, yeah, look at that, that's just ridiculous. There also seems to be, since the trailer licence requirement has gone, we are getting more and more pile-ups around here. Just everyone at a dead standstill. I had it a few weeks ago. Someone driving, oh God, look, if you had to pull in there, you can't. You just can't do it. Pulling a power company, small trailer on back. I know small trailers are harder to reverse than last ones. Oh, okay, now we're back to a lovely, proper potholey road. Bearing in mind this is a heavily used, fairly main route. So yes, this power guy could not reverse his trailer for the life of him. And coming towards us was someone with a caravan who could not reverse their caravan for the life of them. It just gets beyond a joke. Eventually an ambulance couldn't get through. I wasn't willing to reverse someone's vehicle for them. I've done it before, I'll do it with cars, I won't do it with trailers on the back, because I don't drive them regularly enough these days. But thankfully one of the guys got out and reversed his power guy's trailer for him. It would really help if you're taking on employees and you need them to be driving trailers, or towing trailers rather, make sure they can actually do it. Watch them, do it yourself before you employ them. If you employ someone who is going to be towing a trailer daily and you haven't watched them show that they're capable of doing so, I think that's a major, major fault as an employer. Because we're not talking the occasional one-off, we're talking this is regular now, this is day in, day out. Okay, we're getting there. So I had two options of ways to go there. The other car behind me was getting impatient and he was indicating right to go to Yoford, so that's fine, we'll let him go that way. I'll come round this way. Doesn't make a lot of difference, to be honest, these two roads. They run parallel. So we're going to go towards Nepty and across. So I've driven on rural roads right since I took my test. I learnt, and thankfully did some of my training in snow in East Sussex. Yeah, clip. But we're seeing more and more people as Devon and Cornwall and Wales get more and more popular. We're seeing so many people come here who cannot tow, cannot reverse, and then combine that with these roads, the state of them and the state of the pull-ins, and it just gets pretty nightmarish, to be honest. It's just not working. Like, I haven't been over 28 miles an hour yet today, but we accept that, we know that. Those of us living here know that. You do get young idiots, but usually, well, there was a car on its roof in the field last week. They usually learn, hopefully without impacting anyone else at the same time. But it really is, if you're planning on going to visit, there we go, that's quite a decent hole there. Wouldn't want to be coming about one at speed. If you're planning on visiting rural areas on holiday, please do. We've got some wonderful areas, enjoy them, but make sure you can reverse and just give yourself time. acknowledge that the roads aren't good. Now actually this road is a lot better than the one going down through Yoford. And what happens then is several of us see that and start using it regularly, and then this one gets damaged. And I know I'm part of the problem. I am out here. I am one of those people out on these roads. But that's my life. That's why I've moved here. I don't do a lot else in life. I go out walking with my dogs and enjoy the countryside. Now I work on the railway, but I also know how unreliable all our public transport is. Now there you can see no give way sign, very little markings, and a really tight turn. I guess what I want, the reason I'm doing that, another horrible hole on the right, the reason I'm doing this is I want councils to start taking the roads seriously, and particularly not putting their own heavy vehicles on them to cause damage. That really is beyond a joke. I might even go out and video about other road this week, but it was so horrible I don't really want to go over it. And then also education for visitors. The more we're promoting these rural areas, do just with provisos, with sort of be aware. Now this road isn't great, but at least most of the pull-ins are fairly safe, and that does make a big difference. Oh no, 29 miles an hour. And this is it, just be realistic about the speeds you're going to be going around here. I don't drive slowly, I'm not going along at 10 miles an hour, but I drive at a speed I can stop if I come across something ahead. A big pothole there on the left. Now I've got to be fair, the Devon Council have done quite a bit with the main road, the A377. That's been shut and had a lot done with it last year, the year before. And they finally did it properly rather than just the patching, which doesn't work. But I think councils have also got to look at the contractors they employ. If the contractors are not up to the job, don't use them again. Now to me that would be common sense, but I also work for a large company, I know how it works, and it's not as easy as that. But those of us paying the bills through our taxes, I've got to start getting on at you. I've got to start saying, if you employ a cowboy company that does a bit of patchwork, but within 6 months has come up again, why would you be stupid enough to pay them to do the same again? Hey, 31 miles an hour, wow. I just don't get it, I really don't get it. There's a lot about this country I don't get at the moment, but we'll stick to the one subject, hey? So there, I couldn't pull in that pull-in, or that one, look at the state of that. So there's all these passing places that you can't pass, and I have, thankfully, haven't met much traffic. I've come out fairly early on a Saturday. Usually we're meeting delivery lorries, and that is the other thing we've got to be aware of. It's often the people living rurally that complain about visitors. I know on Dartmoor people were up in arms about others going to see the snow last week. Yet they're the people ordering food deliveries and Amazon Prime. You can't complain about people coming to the area when you're the ones ordering them in. When we lived rurally in Scotland, if one person was going into town, they took shopping lists for all of us. Now, doesn't that make far more sense? Let's go back to the old ways, please. The lorries are an issue. The delivery lorries, the council lorries, the farm machinery. I know we're not supposed to have a go at farmers, but we've got farmers around here buying machinery designed for Canada, New Zealand, thousands and thousands of acres of their own land, not designed for tiny rural Devon roads. They don't fit on the road a lot of the time. They certainly don't fit in their lanes. So, well done, little car. So you can't be far from the passing place. Yeah, there's one just behind him. So the size of the farm machinery has scaled up so massively that a lot of it, thank you, especially the combines, the telehandlers, they should have wide load escorts in reality. So if you've got a farm that you know is split into several sections and you're having to travel on narrow lanes to get to them, don't go and buy machinery designed for thousands and thousands of acres. It's common sense, isn't it? Apparently not so common. So we are just overloading our roads. And as I've said, yes, I am part of the problem, but I don't have a vehicle bigger than I need. I'd love a camper van, but the reality of me driving a camper van around on a daily basis would be expensive because of the extra weight and things, and I just don't. It's just not realistic on these roads, and I can't afford two vehicles. It's as simple as that. Ooh, steady. So you can see you suddenly get to an area where you just can't avoid them, and that's the other point. It's why I let the other driver go off in the opposite direction, because he was getting impatient and tailgating me. Tailgating, don't do it. Just don't. If you're that thick, don't go to a rural area. Just don't drive. Actually, if you don't actually know what the distance is between you and the driver in front, don't drive. Right, and go back to enjoying my nice, lovely country lanes. And it really is. It's wonderful out here. I live here for a reason. So many other people live here for a reason. And as long as you take your time, you're okay. Oh look, passing place. So only a few holes. You can actually get into that one. Okay. I have noticed the new houses being built out just outside of our area towards Tiverton have actually put in really good passing places on the new road, or the road that they're converting, which I think is really sensible. And you've got a van up there. Oh no, he's flashing me, I'm flashing him. I'll go forwards. There we go. A lot of driving on rural roads is looking ahead. It is just seeing where can the next person move over. No, thank you very much, man. Although this is a horrible put-in, but he accepts that. And yep, he's grinning at me because he knows how bad these are. I just filled my little van. And obviously once you've got water in the potholes, you have to go even steadier. And again, remembering this is a main route via Google Maps. If I go via extra, it takes another 20 minutes more and a lot more mileage. When I say 20 minutes, it can be a lot more than that if you're going at peak times. But should this road really be down as a main route? Well, actually, yes, I think it should, but I think it needs to be maintained. There's just nowhere to put your wheels. And I wonder if that van driver was grinning. Really? God. I've gone for a higher van this time. My Citroen Berlingo was 2 loads of ground. I moved here with my grandma's Honda Jazz, which she's very, very generously given me when she stopped driving, but it really struggled on these roads. It's another issue we see, and one we're not supposed to ever talk about, is we've got a lot of people driving around here that really should have given up a while ago. And that's horrible to say, and I might be in that position in the future. But for those people, I fully get it. If you were just driving on the A377 from Cobblestone to Crediton to get your shopping, have your hair done. It's 5 miles each way. It really isn't a problem. I can get while I'm still driving. The issues arise when we have sudden roadworks pop up, as they tend to do. Accidents, again, too common. And that's when you get people diverted onto these types of roads who really don't want to be on them. And the diversions can be miles and miles long, because that's just the nature of where we are. Right, whether that's just covered the camera in water, I've no idea. We're getting there. We're getting there. If I say the mileage of sort of where I'm going, I think this one's about 6-7 miles from home. It's really not that far. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But it is the quality of roads to do it. I must say though, I'm impressed we haven't seen more traffic out. So you can see we are now right on the A30. So that is why that is such a busy road that we've just been on. That is your link from the villages, well, and from the A377, from the big road to another large road. That's it. I think we are going to go, we're definitely going towards Clifford Bridge. I'll decide where we're going once we get there. So you can see National Trust Castle Drogo. These are big places advertised, coming from main roads, with these link roads being in such poor condition. Hey, this is nice. We're actually on a nice road. Won't be for long, I'll make most of it. So you can see delivery driver. I don't know what the answer is with the delivery drivers. For people who shouldn't really be driving anymore and have acknowledged that, yeah, really sensible to have their deliveries brought in. But we've just lost the infrastructure. We've lost that community where one person's going shopping and brings their neighbours home with them. And that's one of the reasons we've got so much. So Dunsford Clifford Bridge. So again signed into quite big areas. Let's have a little look down here. I love this little house on the right. I think it's so pretty. And I like the tile effect on the left. So actually that pull-in is a reasonable one. That is doable. Now those of you who follow myself and Oti and Merlin know that I generally avoid busy areas on weekends. I could have done with being up a bit earlier today. I'm usually a shift worker, so I'm out either very early or very late. Things are changing for us at the moment temporarily, which means I'm around at weekends, which has been a shock to the system. But like I said, I'm really pleasantly surprised on a Saturday morning. It's 9:40 now. It's still not that bad. Again, that little bit looked nothing. It wasn't actually a pothole, it was just a ridge along the side of the road. I do feel for my poor car. You will notice most of us drive in the middle of the road where we can. When we've got clear visibility, just to try and save our vehicles a little bit. So I stick to on the A377 most days, out in the opposite direction to where we've come today. And I walk Hayward, Eggersford, that area most days. I come out these routes and do something a bit different, probably twice a week. I've moved to the area and want to enjoy it. I know this is bad on the right, stay over to the left. Now we've had storm, I don't know, storm something these last couple of days. We have thankfully been barely affected, which is brilliant, because the last one caused a lot of damage. I just cannot get down to that left. Well done, van driver. If I go any further down to that left, I won't get back out. There we go. And this is where most of us who drive these roads regularly, we do look out for one another. We're all in this together. It is the drivers who don't do it regularly that are the issue, to be honest. Or the ones who get cocky. That's an issue, and that's an issue with youngsters generally. Again, that's on the right there. That's got horrible. We're back up to 30 miles an hour. That's a really nice day. I'm looking forward to getting out with the dogs. This drive's worth it for me because I'll be out for an hour and a half, a couple of hours this morning. And like I say, I might then, go out back home through Exeter, so I'm not dealing with those roads at a busier time. I only have to do one section. So as you can see, we have got a caravan site here. And I fully get it, it's in a lovely, lovely spot. And I don't blame anyone at all for coming here. But it's why we get so many caravans on these roads. So again, it's not a problem as long as you know you can tow and you know you can reverse. Now this road, even 2 years ago, was no problem at all. It's now really quite a hazard. So it's another pull-in you just can't get into potholes. Too bad, certainly not as bad as that first road we were on. Again, I say again, I don't know what the answer is. We all want to be out and enjoy the countryside. I'm driving far more than I've ever been. I've always lived on land. Never been one to own it, but as a groom, riding instructor, carriage driver, working on farms, I've lived on estates, farms, stable yards, and been very privileged to be able to enjoy the countryside. I think we have to remember that that is very fortunate and a privilege. So those who do live in the countryside can't really do the whole get off our land thing, whilst having access to a much better quality of life in a lot of ways than others. We've got to be able to share, but we've got to find ways to share nicely. Go out to use Berlin. Okay, so that's not bad. See, after this walk I might even go out the other way over towards Hampstead, which gives me less. It is a pretty nasty road, but once you're off it you're then on main roads all the way back home, and I'll come home from the opposite direction. But it does add a lot of mileage. Clifford Bridge. We're going to park in one of the car parks. So I'm quite frozen today, which is lovely. Now that road on the left, I went up that one last week. That is pretty dire. I'm not going to take you up it because I think in seriousness I'll lose the camera. So we're just going to go park in one of the most popular car parks. Hope that not too many people are awake yet. Oh, it's already too busy for me. Right, there's one space left here. It is busy. That's not for me today. I'm going to go find another place to park, and this is why I don't come out on weekends. This is just my personal preference. So I'm going to take you up that road I said was pretty horrible. Sorry mate. Thank you. I know dogs, we're getting there. So I could turn right there. It's a horrible angle out of here. And as you can see, I cannot see, there is no visibility. So I'm going to go left. We're going to go up here. Again, remembering this is public access road to advertised and public car parks. But this whole area really suffered with the last lot of storms. But I think this, yeah. And I know I am part of the problem. There's so many of us now just trying to find our quiet little areas. And like I say, I'm fortunate to be able to go out generally through the week and at quieter times. For those working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, I really, really feel for them. I couldn't do it myself. And us constantly pushing to find quieter and quieter areas is taking us onto these roads. You can see this is not ideal by any means. in here. In reality, I think I'm going to go up to the next car park, but I want to preserve my camera if I can. So I will put the link in the comments. This is actually a walk I did last week from Halls Cleeve East. So that shows you the roads you're on to get here. So I'm going to park up, take the camera down, and hopefully guys, that's given you a little more appreciation. I would like the Devon councils to watch this, to see what state the roads are in. I would like visitors to watch this please, just to understand what they're undertaking when they're coming on holidays to these areas. It's been lovely to chat to you all. I'm going to go out and find somewhere to walk the dogs. We'll speak to you all soon.